Why do floods, those relentless forces of nature, continue to haunt us no matter where we are in the world? While the stories and settings change, the reasons behind these destructive events remain strangely similar. Today, we embark on a journey to unravel the mysteries of flooding, uncovering the science that ties these disasters together, regardless of where they strike. So get ready to dive into the fascinating world of floods and discover the universal factors that make them a formidable foe for civilizations throughout history. Intense rainfall, the beginning. The main cause of floods is heavy rainfall. Imagine the sky filling with thick, dark clouds, and then these clouds pouring down rain like there's no tomorrow. Well, when this happens, trouble often follows. This deluge of rain can lead to something called a flood. It's when there's so much water from all that rain that the land just can't soak it all up. Instead, rivers and streams start to bloat, like they've had too much to eat, and they burst over their banks, flooding the nearby areas. It's like they're saying, "No more room here," and water starts covering places it shouldn't. That's what we see during a flood, water where it shouldn't be. Consider the recent devastating flood in Libya as an example. In September 2023, a Mediterranean storm system made landfall, bringing torrential rains and fierce winds. The storm impacted not only Libya, but also neighboring countries, leading to widespread flooding and devastation. Derna, situated near the coast, was particularly susceptible. The surrounding mountains funneled rainwater towards the city, creating a disastrous setup when combined with dam failures. When the dams burst, a tidal wave of floodwaters rampaged through Derna. The city bore witness to horrifying scenes as entire neighborhoods got dragged into the sea. Amidst the ruins, over 5,300 have been confirmed dead, while a staggering 10,000 are still missing. Monsoon regions such as India, Bangladesh, and Southeast Asia grapple with annual heavy rains during the monsoon season, leading to severe floods by inundated rivers and low-lying areas. Topography and geography. Let's zoom out and look at the big picture. The lay of the land, also known as topography, is a major player in how floods happen. Imagine a place with lots of hills and tall mountains. When it rains heavily there, things can get tricky. See, those steep slopes act like slides for rainwater. The water rushes down those hills, gathers in valleys, and flows into low-lying areas. It's like a superhighway for water, but with disastrous consequences. As it goes downhill, it often covers houses and whole communities in its path. Mother Nature doesn't play favorites. Water always goes to the lowest spot it can find. So when there are valleys or low-lying areas around, they become magnets for all that water, especially during heavy rain. This means homes and neighborhoods in those places can end up underwater when a flood strikes. The 2010 Pakistan floods highlighted how topography and geography, with mountainous north and flat southern plains, played a crucial role. Monsoon rains led to rapid runoff from steep slopes and overflow of rivers like the Indus, causing widespread devastation and displacing millions, emphasizing the impact of terrain on flooding. Coastal vulnerability. When we talk about flooding, coastal areas have a special vulnerability. This vulnerability becomes even more apparent during storms. You see, when strong winds and low-pressure systems team up to create something called a storm surge, it's like a powerful wave of seawater that gets pushed right onto the land. Now imagine this surge of seawater joining forces with heavy rainfall. It's a recipe for trouble. The water from the ocean adds to the already overflowing rivers, making the flooding even worse. So coastal regions have to deal with not just one, but two forces of nature, rain and storm surges, which often lead to extensive flooding in these areas. Hurricane Katrina in 2005 exposed coastal vulnerability as its storm surge and heavy rainfall breached New Orleans levees, causing catastrophic flooding. Urbanization and poor infrastructure. Now let's talk about how what we humans do can make flooding worse. Imagine a big city with lots of buildings, roads, and people. That's urbanization. In these cities, we've covered a lot of ground with hard stuff like concrete and asphalt. These surfaces don't let rainwater sink into the earth like it's supposed to. To make matters worse, sometimes the way we build things in these cities isn't so great. The drainage systems might not be up to par, and buildings might be constructed without much thought about how water should flow. When heavy rain comes along, all that water has nowhere to go, so it ends up filling the streets and neighborhoods. It's almost like the city turns into a temporary lake. So remember, in crowded cities with lots of concrete and not so great construction plans, heavy rains can turn everything into a big soggy mess. It's one of those cases where what we've built can work against us when nature decides to pour down its rain. River dams and reservoirs. Now let's talk about something that's meant to help, but can sometimes turn into a big problem. Dams and reservoirs are built to control and manage water. They store up a bunch of water, like a giant bathtub. But here's the thing, if these dams break or fail, it can be really bad. Imagine a dam breaking open. All that stored water rushes out like a tidal wave, and it heads straight downstream. It's like a massive wall of water coming your way. And when it reaches communities downstream, it can be a real disaster. All that water just engulfs everything in its path, causing serious flooding and destruction. So, even though dams and reservoirs are built to help us, when they go wrong, they can make flooding much worse. It's a reminder that even our best efforts to control water can sometimes backfire when nature decides to throw us a curveball. Climate change and extreme weather. Now let's talk about something that's been making floods even worse: climate change. In the past few years, the climate has been acting up, making extreme weather events more common and more intense. Here's how it works. As the world gets warmer, more water evaporates from the ground and oceans, and when that water vapor comes back down as rain, it can come down really hard, causing heavy rainfall. This means that in some places, we're getting more rain than before. So, thanks to climate change, we're seeing more floods. The planet's getting hotter, and that's messing with the way rain works. It's like nature's way of saying, expect the unexpected. And that's why floods are becoming a bigger problem in some parts of the world. Mitigation and preparedness. While we can't control nature, we can certainly prepare for its punches. When it comes to floods, there are smart steps we can take to lessen the damage. It's like having a good defense against a tough opponent. One way is by putting up flood control measures. These are like barriers that can hold back rising water. Think of levees and flood walls as heroes here. They can keep floodwaters at bay, protecting homes and communities. Plus, we can improve how we drain water away from our cities and neighborhoods. A good drainage system can really help keep streets from turning into rivers. But we don't stop there. We also need to be ready for when floods are about to hit. That's where disaster preparedness and early warning systems come in. They're like our flood alarms, giving us a heads up when trouble's on the way. When we get that warning, it's our signal to get to safety. Lastly, let's not forget about how we build our cities. If we plan them right, we can reduce the risk of floods in the first place. It's all about smart urban development that takes flood danger into account. By doing that, we can make sure that we're not setting ourselves up for future flood disasters. So, even though we can't control nature, we can definitely get ready for it. That way, when floods come knocking, we're not caught off guard, and we can minimize the damage they cause. Understanding the complex interplay of factors that cause floods is the first step in preparing for and responding to these natural disasters. By collectively addressing the causes and taking proactive measures, we can reduce the devastating impacts of floods on communities around the world. Let us strive for resilience, preparedness, and responsible environmental stewardship to safeguard our future. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing for more.